Alright everyone, I'm back once again with section 25B of our ongoing C++ tutorials. Now you're going to notice that I already have this one done. There's a reason for that. I ran into an issue with my camelback notation not existing in my actual function. So I'm going to walk you guys through what I expected for homework and how I went about solving it. I want to remind you guys that you guys might not solve it the same way I do, and that's completely fine. There's 100 ways to solve every single computer problem ever, and they're not necessarily better or worse than any other one. So with that said, I asked you to make two functions. One is going to set a variable inside of int main. And so what I've done is I've taken our first number in our and I've created a prototype up top called setVar. The setVar function is going to be passed in one number, and that number is going to be a double. In this case, I've made a number called first, or a variable called first plus 5 of type double. First plus 5 is going to be equal to the outcome of our function, which I've named setVar, when its input is first number. So if we come down and take a look at that function, setVar is being passed a double, which we rename first value for use inside of this function. First value then gets its contents increased by 5. That 5 is technically an int, but that's neither here nor there. And then it gets returned with whatever the current contents of first value are. Something that's noteworthy is that the number that we took in for first number remains first number, because this was passed as a value and not as a reference. If I had changed this line of code to be an ampersand there and changed it down below to also include an ampersand, it would be passed by reference, and first number would be increased by 5 as well. Output var is what I use inside of my actual loop, and all that is going to be a simple addition. I set up the cout here. I say first number plus second number equals, and then we have this call to an output variable, or well, a function called output variable. And output variable is going to be of type int, but I'm passing it into doubles. I did this to remind you guys how to cast. It's actually going to be entirely blank. There's going to be no processes that take place inside this function at all, other than the return itself. And the return is going to be a doubled set of parentheses, so we can change the output of first plus second, which are both doubles, into type int. So this is going to ensure that it returns an int, and we don't have to fuss around with any variables. It's just going to return the sum of those two numbers as an int. So that's going to come up here, and it's going to output immediately after our equal sign. It's going to give us a line break, and then it's going to ask us if we want to quit. I'll show you guys how it works. So we're going to have 15. That's going to be, that means that this first plus 5 is going to get set to 20. There's no confirmation of that inside of the program itself. I suppose I'll add that in just a sec. And then we're going to use 10 as our second number. It gets added in our output var, which is only couted, so it's not kept. Since it's not kept, immediately after that cout ends, the memory gets dereferenced. It's no longer usable. So if we just simply output, that's all it's going to get used for. Now, another thing I just wanted to show you guys before we finish this up. Just going to cout quick \n, and then just first plus 5. And end L, just to include both types of blank lines there. I suppose I'll toss in 2 end Ls. Okay, and so we run this. I'm just going to quit this one first. We run this, and we're going to enter 15 and 20, which means that first plus 5 should be set equal to 20. So that equals 20, and then 15 plus 20 equals 35, which the 35 is handled by this output var. I'm going to toss this source code up on IDE 1, and I'm hoping that you guys are going to play around with this a little bit. It's a little bit complicated, and I've done my best to explain it in a timely fashion, so hopefully it's worked out. I'm going to keep this short. I hope you guys keep tuning in. We're probably going to be doing a review very soon. I don't really want to hit arrays in this same section, but I might give a quick introduction about them. I'm still a little on the fence, because they do tie in very closely with functions. Alright, well, I'm Damien. If you guys need help, shoot me a comment below. Or message me on Reddit or Reddit University, or I don't know, send me smoke signals. See you around.